Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We interrupt our regular opening to ask you a favor. Laura Gillot and the Gillot Home Team have supported The Experience since the beginning. Now, we're asking for you to support them. Let's grow their Instagram account to over 10,000 followers. We're very close, but we need your help. Open Instagram, search Gillot Home Team, and follow them. Then click the 3 dots on their profile and invite your friends to follow them as well. Let us know in the show comments. Together, we can grow the Gillot Home Team to over 10,000 followers. Now, back to our regular opening. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. The Aspects of Aging weekly talk show with Christine A. Smith. Unscripted conversations with experts. Watch live or in replay at agingbetternetwork.com. Nancy Bakke and Best Entrepreneur Solutions, revealing the key ingredients to skyrocket business profits. Learn more online at bestentrepreneurssolutions.com. Ironhead Roofing, veteran family-owned and the most trusted roofing company in Oregon. Call 541-283-1298 and online at ironheadroofing.com. Extreme Graphics, not just your local print shop, vehicle wraps, signs, and apparel. Call 503-926-9727 and on the web, extremegraphics.com. And now let's get on with the show.
And here we are. Welcome to The Experience live. I think of what show I'm talking about. The Experience live with Russ and Scott. So glad to have everybody here. How are you doing, Scott?
You know, we had a big day yesterday. It was actually book launch day. So this is the day after. Once again, Russ is a #1 bestseller there on Amazon with Life Happens, and Then You Choose, the follow-up to Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. So anyway, there you go. And congratulations, Russ.
Thank you. Thank you. What a blessing. It actually was such an amazing day Monday. You know, we were able to do marketing with Russ, The Experience Local, and Russ Reels Live all in one day promoting the book.
Special edition
so
of
many
Russ,
great
Russ
friends
Reels.
on, right?
Absolutely. And we were able to put Russ Reels Live special edition on Amazon. And so we were there live on Amazon. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing day, and I am so blessed. Thankful for you, Scott, and thankful for all my friends who came and helped us. God, it was just awesome, more than I could ask for. So I'm so thankful. So
Absolutely.
I want to remind everybody we are here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Please join us every week. Share this with your friends. Help us, Lord. Help us as we continue to just spread good news, and the great experience of our friends who come on, like Annie today, is going to be so good. And I'm really excited for that. But Scott, what else do you have going on this week?
Well, I tell you, it's hard to believe that this is the first full week of November, and we're winding down 2025. So just a handful of things are going to be going to a vendor appreciation lunch for Greater Waco Realty today. Robert, the realtor, is been a guy that I've been connected with in a mastermind that we've been getting going here in Waco. So I'm happy to be able to go and celebrate this with them, and it's a fundraiser benefit lunch. So it's a lot of fun to be able to do those things.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. It's a good way to actually give back to the people that support us all the time too, which is great. And community coming together. You know me, I'm all about connection and community building. So that stuff is just amazing and fun. And I'm so thankful for that. Just want to remind everybody, just like Scott had been talking about, Life Happens and Then You Choose was out Monday. It is still available on Kindle on Amazon for only $2.99. It was free the first day, but we've extended the $2.99 on Kindle for a couple more days. Also available in paperback and hardback on there as well. Would love for you to get those copies. And then once you read it, if you could leave an Amazon review, that would be so amazing. So I'm just so thankful for all of that. Scott, anything else going on before we get our wonderful guest in?
They can go to our website, local.theexperience.video, and find all of our YouTube, LinkedIn links there as well. My book is there, which is Business Networking, a Scientific Method. And I'm looking forward to talking to Annie, because we're going to be talking about, one of the things is about rewiring your brains. And that's a good thing, by the way. And Russ's new book, Life Happens and Then You Choose, is there. And you can click it. It will take you right to Amazon, and you can get the Kindle, you can get the paperback, you can get the hardback. And as we say, collect all three.
There you go. I mean, it is a great opportunity not only to learn more about Scott and I, but to get some great books that will inspire you. And we're just thankful. I'm just so thankful to God every day. I give him all the praise for my books, and you will love it. It will inspire you. My book and Scott's books, he's got a bunch, will just direct you. You'll learn so much and be inspired by his stuff as well. So please go to local.theexperience.video. Also, if you want to just go straight to our YouTube page, theexperience.video will take you there, and we appreciate that. Before we get going, just remember, when you get an opportunity, share this out and let your friends know that we're on. You can tag them this morning, and we would appreciate that so much. And with that, Scott, I think we should get things rolling.
Absolutely. Let's bring Annie in.
And here we go, everybody. Welcome, Annie Yatch.
Hey, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, gentlemen, for having me. I can't wait. Let's do it.
Live and direct from some undisclosed location in Boston, I believe.
Correct. Yes, I'm out of Boston right now, usually out of 5 minutes outside of Park City.
Tell us about what's going on. What's going on today?
Well, today I've got a couple of entrepreneurs who came out who wanted to rewire their brains. Basically, they wanted to look at the subconscious and how it affects them in business so that they don't have to be capped at a certain revenue. What I found after 15 years of working with entrepreneurs all over the country is that if you want to break through those levels of revenue growth to scale and grow your team much more effectively, there's usually something in the subconscious holding you back that you can't see, because your subconscious runs about 11 million data points a second and your conscious brain only runs at 40. So there's quite a bit to figure out in that subconscious brain of the entrepreneur. And that's why I love what I do so much, because you make one change in that subconscious and the trajectory of your business changes forever.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, it's so much in the way that our brain works and how we think and the directions we move are based on what we're thinking on, what we're focused on, and all of that. So where do you start with people when they reach out to you, Annie, and say, man, I'm an entrepreneur, I need your help?
So the first thing I always do is I run them through a session where we look at what is your greatest superpower, what is the kryptonite that holds you back from everything you want, and then what is the cycle you get stuck in that we have to get you out of if you want to move into a higher level of revenue and fulfillment as an entrepreneur. So that's the very first session. Most people tell me 1 hour with me is like 30 years of therapy, because I go after the root cause of everything. Because if we can shift that root cause, everything will change.
Therapists around the world are now blocking you. So.
I know, right? That's the thing that always makes me laugh, because therapy is really helpful. It's very good. There's a place for therapy always. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the thing missing in therapy is the action plan for how are we going to change, right? We can talk about topics all day long, but if we don't have an action plan for change, then not much is going to change mentally, emotionally, physically, or even spiritually sometimes.
When I was researching for my book, and I was looking into the brain, and this was my minor as my undergraduate study was around behavioral sciences. So I love looking into the brain. How did you get involved in this?
Well, I got to tell you, I started off in counterterrorism. So it wasn't as though I was, right? Everyone's always like, wait, you what? Like, you're so nice. And I'm like, well, I learned pretty quickly. I can't lie. And so in that world, you have to be able to, do a little bit of finagling with the truth. And that never really worked for me. So I ended up not working in that sector and I got into entrepreneurship. I worked with a bunch of different Navy SEALs actually, and I was fascinated by how their brains worked. And I was like, what if we could backwards engineer how these Navy SEALs think and plan for the most elite missions in the world and bring that to entrepreneurs to make their teams run more effectively, help their brains to be even more, I would say, competitive in the space. And then also, how do we up-level everyone's leadership so that it's easier for the entrepreneur to run the company and easier for the team supporting him or her to drive results? So I honestly started in counterterrorism, realized it wasn't the greatest fit for me. And then I wanted to learn more about neuroscience, neurochemistry, the way the brain functions, because I think that's the key to everything that you want to change or evolve or experience in your life. The more you understand your brain and you're more aware, the greater results you can create.
Well, I love that. I love that. And the fact that your brain is so, I mean, I believe the way God created our brain, it does so many amazing things. And the fact that when we keep our mindset and our thoughts on positive things, it is looking for those. That reticular activator is busy looking for the things we're thinking about. And I love that. I'm not a scientist by any means, but I love the fact, and I have proven the fact that when you're focused on the right things for your business and your life, you're going to head in that direction. Things aren't going to be perfect. You're going to still have a bumpy road, but you're going to have a lot more good things happen because you do that. And I love what you said about taking action, because we can think all we want and plan all we want, but unless we're taking the right action for our business, we're not going to head that way.
Very true. And what most entrepreneurs have told me is very provocative that I will say often is you never overanalyze in a positive way. So when you start overanalyzing, we almost always know that your brain is going down the rabbit hole of all the negative things that could happen. And so I always tell people, I'm like, if you can just pause yourself when you start to overanalyze and then shift into overanalyzing in a positive way, then everything gets redirected on that neural highway. So I agree with you 100%. And I love what you both are saying.
All right. And how did you get involved in counterterrorism?
Well, I went to Georgetown University for my undergraduate, and I became somewhat obsessed after 9/11 with trying to better understand how we can protect the country, how we can keep the country safe, what needs to be done to make sure that, we all live in the pursuit of happiness and, giving our families the best life we can. I feel like that's one of the things that I cared so much about, that everybody has the ability to pursue happiness, pursue their dreams. And that's one of the reasons why I've been such a fan of our country, because it gives us a chance, no matter who we are, no matter where we come from, to pursue what could make us happier and what could support our families in the best way possible.
Love it. And I'm always a fan of entrepreneurs. That's where my heart is. And it really is a great personification of the American spirit. Yeah. Whether you were born here or whether you have come here, it's that opportunity to say, I will live based off the sweat of my brow and in the inventiveness that I have can take care of my family. So yes. I love that you're able to do that. I just want to look into the future. What are you seeing as you talk to these entrepreneurs? What's coming up?
Well, the biggest things that I'm seeing are that almost everybody caps their thought process. Everyone has a ceiling for the good that they think they're able to achieve. And so it's really our job to be hyper aware of what do we think that ceiling is, because every entrepreneur is different. And all of us get into this as an entrepreneur for the freedom of it, right? For the ability to control our own schedule, to be able to impact thousands of lives. And I think what happens for many of us as we get into the daily grind a little bit of being an entrepreneur, we lose sight of what makes us feel satisfied. And if we can start over a little bit as an entrepreneur and look at what do I need for the perfect day, for a day where I feel satisfied with everything that I'm doing, and we start to build our business off of that, it gives us a chance to create a very different vision for how the business serves us, instead of us being in constant service to the business. So I watch a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck because they're serving the business instead of setting up their perfect day and building the business to serve them and what they most want to create for their families. Oh, Russ, I can't hear you. I think you might be muted.
You're right. It is muted. Hey, everybody. I was saying that I love that because without vision, the people perish. That's, a great scripture quote, but so true that, you need vision in your business, in your life to be moving in the right direction. And the way that as I talked about before, change your thinking, change your life. I love that book by Craig Rochelle. You change the way you think and look at things and change your vision. It's going to redirect your steps. And I love what you're talking about because people don't realize, I think, sometimes, and this so well, Annie, and that is the power of the brain and the power that we have in making choices, decisions, and thinking to make ourselves go the right direction and then take those action steps, right?
Yes. And Scott, what you said before about the fact that, like, where do I see entrepreneurs going? What I've noticed is there's a trend now. There's always been like a biohacking trend, right? How can I do things faster? How can I have more of a competitive edge with my brain? What I'm noticing now is that entrepreneurs are starting to identify that they have been in fight or flight with a lot of their decision making, a lot of their actions. So I've been working with a lot of entrepreneurs to calm their nervous system so that they can make decisions from a place of neutrality, of clarity, and they're not feeling urgency. Because really, the thing that causes the most trouble for the entrepreneur is when he's making, or she is making, a decision from a place of urgency and fight or flight rather than from a calm nervous system. I had one entrepreneur the other day, we were working to calm a system, and he was able to, in the session, identify a $700,000 gap in his business that he could never see before, simply because his nervous system was so calm. So I'm watching entrepreneurs not turn away from biohacking, but instead of trying to make their brains move faster, they're trying to calm their system so the natural genius that is within them can come out a lot more.
My son's football coach was a medical doctor, and he worked with the boys and talked about the limbic system.
Yes.
And how it causes you to make poor decisions. That's how you get penalties, right? That's how you get thrown out of the game, is because you're not controlling yourself. And that was one of the things. So in the book, it was a joint book that I wrote with Veronica Jeans, Freeze, Inaction in the Face of Business Crisis, because you're talking about that fight or flight. That's the amygdala, right? Yes. So it's fight, flight, or freeze. Mm-hmm. So you're going to run away, or you're going to get in trouble fighting, or you're just going to be the deer in the headlight and do nothing.
Well, this
is what I hear you talking about.
Yep. They've even added on one more to that, which is fawn. Like, you might overly placate somebody or say things that you don't necessarily mean just to get out of conflict. So one of the things I am seeing entrepreneurs come to me for is, how can we be better at having those crucial conversations, not to avoid conflict, but to go directly into it in a way that continues to build connection and productivity with our team members. So that's been a really big shift I've noticed recently as well.
Okay, so you and I are speaking the same language there again. When our first talk, we talked about this a little bit. Doing things that drive connection and community is always going to benefit your business, especially when you're in tune with the people that you want to connect with, the type of people that you're actually going after. And there's nothing wrong with trying to connect with the right kind of people, because as Jim Rohn says, we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So you want to connect with the people that are going to be uplifting and help you build and encourage you. That's why I hang out with D. Scott Smith, because Scott is always pointing me in the right direction and helping me be a better version of myself. And that's the kind of people I want to hang around with, right?
Always. Yeah. You always want to have people in your, I guess, your top 5 who are pushing you to not do more, but pushing you to really increase your awareness of yourself. Increase your awareness of your patterns, increase the awareness of your behaviors and your actions. So that way that's why I love what you guys call yourselves, right? The inspiration specialist and the motivational listener, right? That combination is pretty unstoppable, I think.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you. It's as we look into the world of entrepreneurship, it can be lonely.
Very.
So how do you help folks beyond changing their brain?
Well, I think probably the biggest way that I help folks beyond changing the brain side is I help them rekindle relationships with the people around them. Because as an entrepreneur, you always feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You feel like you have to be the one to bear the burden, to take ownership of everything. And really, like, the buck stops with all of us. But what I've started working with entrepreneurs on is really asking for help from people that can help you, hiring people that are smarter than you are, really being willing to ask for help. Because I think there's a big misconception with a lot of entrepreneurs that if I ask for help, it's going to make me look weak. It's going to make me look like I don't have my stuff together. It's going to make me look like I don't know what I'm doing. But the reality of asking for help is every time you ask someone for help, you're actually allowing them to be more on purpose in their own life by bringing their own genius, their own value to your experience together. And 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. It usually equals 3 or 4 when you ask for help in this way. So you're giving someone purpose every time you ask for help. And there's nothing weak about that. It's actually the only way we live and grow and learn at a much higher level.
And it is true that you do not want to be, excuse me, you do not want to be the smartest person in the room.
No.
You want to definitely get people around you that know more, that will help build you up. And I learned that. I've worked for people that had to be always the smartest person in the room, and their business would fail because of that, because they have to always be the one that's, shining above everybody else. Man, oh man, I am so happy for those people in my life that are way better than me at a lot of things, because it just helps me. And I learned that at an early time, Annie. And that was, I learned that were people that made me look better because they were so smart and helped me. And so it was a win-win. They got to shine. I looked better and everybody was happy.
I think that you guys are probably in a very high percentile of people who ask for help early, but for many entrepreneurs, it's still something that weighs in their mind, this asking for help piece. So I'm just thankful that you guys are leading the charge here and showing people what it can be when you are that lighthouse for other people. I think it's beautiful.
So I saw this great comic, and it's this evening party. Everyone's in this room together, but in the side room, there's a guy all by himself sitting in the chair, and they point to him and go, "Oh, he just likes to be the smartest person in the room." And you don't succeed on your own. Do you do coaching? Because you have this, but we always say people need coaches. You can't do this on your own. So tell us about that.
So I've been a business coach probably for the last 15 years. And I have a very interesting intersection of what I do, because I've built 3 businesses. I've helped probably hundreds of men create millions of dollars in their lives to serve their families and their communities. And then just recently now, I'm opening up a program for high-level executive women as well. So my goal is always to help people understand that really the business is here to serve you and to allow you to live out the dream and the impact that you'd like to create. And for many of us, when we hit midlife, I think we start to realize that we have to reinvent ourselves. We have to make some changes. What worked for us before isn't going to work for us now. And so midlife isn't a crisis from my perspective. It's literally this pivotal moment where we all decide, how do we want to reinvent? How do we want to show up? What about our behavior or our mindset needs to change? So I have quite a few men in business that I've worked with over the years. And the goal is always, how do I reconnect these men to their hearts so that they can speak in a more connected way with their team and get their team to think more like they do in growing the business? And then for women, I found it's a lot more about, how do I learn how to lead in a way that is not over masculinized? Because we've sort of been conditioned to think that we have to become a little bit more masculine to lead teams, but it's actually the opposite. We have to get more in connection with who we are at our core and bring that natural leadership style out. I've just found a lot of people don't really know what their natural leadership style is because they've tried to embody or be like everybody else in a certain way. So that's what I've been doing for the last 15 years, leadership, team performance, individual performance. And it's that intersection of, how do I rewire the brain for the entrepreneur while also making sure their genius zone is extremely available to them at all times. So it's that intersection between trauma and working through trauma. Every entrepreneur has it. And how do I take the very best of their genius and move them forward?
Well, I tell you, I could keep talking forever because you have so much great information and, things that everybody doesn't think about. And so it's such a blessing to have you on today. Give us your gold nugget of the day and really what you want people to remember from today's conversation. And then tell us how people get in touch with you, because I know people are going to want to reach out, and we're going to have you back on another time for sure.
Well, I would love that. The gold nugget of today is, for everybody listening, just remember that your superpower and your kryptonite are always linked. If you can start to figure out what your greatest superpower is, then you're going to figure out very quickly what is the gift you're here to give humanity. And once you know that, your business will flourish. So, really quick, I'd love to say for any men who are listening, one of the best books for you to read to up-level yourself if you want to go in that direction is Way of the Superior Man. For all the women who are listening, one of the best books is It's Not Your Money, which is a way to change the way you look at building wealth. And that's by Tasha Silver. I just like to give those little nuggets because they are gold nuggets of the day.
That's so awesome. That's awesome. And what is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Best way to get in touch with me is to reach out to me on Instagram. It's northstarleadership.annie. You'll see it down below on the screen, northstarleadership.annie. You can personally message me. I will personally respond. It's a lot more fun that way because then I get to know the real you.
That is so great. And we have all that information in the show notes and in the comments today. So everybody can click on that and make sure to go to Annie. And Annie, do you use LinkedIn very much? We have your LinkedIn actually ticking along the bottom right now.
Yes, I do have LinkedIn as well. And then I was going to mention that I do have a PDF that I love to give to everybody who's listening, Russ, if you're open to it. It's just a way to have crucial conversations because I've noticed that a lot of partnerships these days, whether you're a partner in business or a partner in the home, we have to learn how to navigate crucial conversations in a different way that's very connecting. So I just want to offer that as a gift to everyone who's listening. And I'll make sure you have that.
Oh, that's perfect. If you
I love it.
Put that in the comments, that would be great.
Sure. Happy to do so.
Well, Annie, thanks for joining us, and go rewire those brains, but hang out with us for a moment. Hang out with us for a moment in the green room, and we'll chat and see if we can get you rescheduled for another date coming up.
I would love that. Thank you both so much. And congratulations on your book, Russ, and on all the books you've written, Scott. So thankful to have been invited on.
Thank you. You've been a blessing today. We'll talk soon.
Sounds great.
See you.
Bye.
Oh my goodness, Scott. That's a great one. I'm telling you, Annie and I had a great conversation before, but we need to get her back on because so much great information. And I'm all about that. You know, the brain is amazing what it can do. God has created a great little tool here for all of us for life and business.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't even begin to explore the brain in a 30-minute conversation. No. So I encourage people to follow her and learn. And there's a couple of great books that she mentioned that you can start with.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, there is a lot of great information. And today, don't forget not only to connect with Annie, and she's going to put that information in the comments about everything going on that you need to know. Also, don't forget to pick up your copy of Life Happens and Then You Choose. And also go to D. Scott Smith and pick up his books as well. Appreciate that. We want to give one more shout out to all of our sponsors who are so amazing. And today we've had Extreme Graphics, Ironhead Roofing, Nancy Bucky, and the Aspects of Aging. I'll get that ticker off the bottom. There we go. And not listed there, but what will be listed next time is the Gillette Home Team. And there you go. There's a little flyer that shows you about actually helping them on their Facebook page.
That's right. Let's get them to 10,000 followers on Facebook.
That's right. Get them to 10,000 followers on Facebook. And there's the information that will also be on social media today. So you can check that out, but it's pretty simple. All the instructions are there. Love for you to support them. And yeah, with that, Scott, what else do you have before we get running today?
Well, I'm just going to tell everybody to go to local.theexperience.video, click on Russ's book, and buy a copy. Get the Kindle version, get the paperback, get the hardback, buy a couple of copies, or send it directly to somebody that you know, because I guarantee you somebody is going to need to learn about how life happens, and then you choose.
That's it. It happens every day to us, everybody. And I'm thankful and blessed to be able to write this. I'm thankful and blessed that you're all there supporting me. It's been just an amazing journey. And with that, we're going to say goodbye. Don't forget, we're here at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time every week, or 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's right. We go live, but then it sits on LinkedIn, YouTube forever, Facebook for 30 days. And wait, there's more. It converts to audio podcast on Spotify, so you can listen to it as well. And we appreciate all of you. Don't forget to go to Amazon, get Life Happens, and Then You Choose. With that, we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.